Hi, Victoria here, owner and director of the Bookkeeper Hub and HBA Encompass, and author of Zest for Success. The last couple of days we've been talking about social media, and we've spoken about Facebook, we've spoken about YouTube, we've spoken about LinkedIn and the groups in Facebook and LinkedIn. Today we're going to talk about some of the other social media channels. Now you're going to have to bear with me because they're ones that I don't know as much about, so I am going to have to refer to my book because I did do a lot of research when I wrote it, but they're not channels that I use. I use Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube. I know them well, I know how to use them, and I don't want to stretch myself too thin, so I don't go spreading the love across all the other channels. Now, the next channel was a big one as well, and that's Twitter. Now, I should digress. I do use Twitter, but very sparingly. To be honest, it confuses the daylights out of me, and I find that I get a lot of stuff through that annoys me. But when I post my scheduled posts on YouTube, I do then follow that up with a tweet, or if I put a blog post or anything like that out, I do put a tweet out on my social media. So just to give you a bit of an overview, and it comes down to the timing of things. So if you post something on Facebook, generally it'll be on someone's news feed for an hour or so, maybe half a day. If you post something on LinkedIn, the same thing. If you post something on YouTube, unless it's going viral and trending majorly, it will be there, but they need to search for it. Twitter, unless it's going viral, is usually only on someone's feed for probably a maximum of half an hour. So whatever you put on Twitter, you've got to remember that someone has to be present in that moment to actually see what you're tweeting for it to be seen. So unlike Facebook and LinkedIn, Twitter does need more of a recurring tweet of something that's going on. So we will talk later in these video sessions about some of the automation that you can use to do this, because obviously you've got work to do and you don't want to be sitting there every half an hour putting a tweet on about your new blog post. But in the same way that Facebook and LinkedIn, it's important that you interact with your friends or your connections, and that you do give feedback and relevance, that if you do put something on Twitter and you are getting feedback, you need to give feedback back to those people as well. So I don't know what else to say about it. Twitter's a social media network. You can post videos, you can post pictures, but the actual words that go with it have a maximum length of 140 characters. So it's not good for a long blog or a nicely written sequence. There's usually a lot of shortcuts where you might put CU with the letters CU instead of SEEYOU to try and fit into that 140 words. Hashtags are used a lot to try and get stuff prominent, but you've got to remember that whenever you tweet, that you leave room for someone to add a comment at the end of it. Now, that's really about all that I know about Twitter, because I don't have the time to play in it and to learn it. I've got other friends who swear by it and reckon that they get heaps of business and heaps of content off it. I can't really comment, more just to say that it is out there and it is another social media network. Back to Twitter, and just a couple of things. I've just checked the book for some of the more information, because as I said, I don't use it, so I don't know. But there are different types of tweets. There's a Twitter promoted tweet. So that's something that you've already posted but you want to promote. So that's like an ad that you can get Twitter to promote something if it's something of relevance or a call to action. There's also Twitter promoted accounts, which again is an advertising type thing. And there's Twitter promoted trends. So if Twitter sees something that is trending a lot, so for instance, when the Football World Cup's on, hashtag World Cup is promoted readily, and if you put something on that's relative to the World Cup and you put hashtag World Cup, then Twitter will automatically promote your tweet. That's really the extent of my knowledge of Twitter. Other social media networks that are popular are Google+, And I believe that Google Plus runs similar to Facebook or to LinkedIn. It doesn't have friends or connections. It has circles and circles of influence. But apart from that, it works on exactly the same logic. You go in, you set up a profile, you invite your connections, and then you try and be connected or get in other people's circles where you can then, I suppose, help people and give content. Another one is Pinterest. So Pinterest is really valuable if you've got a service that is great for pictures. So as a bookkeeper, as an accountant, Pinterest isn't fantastic because no one wants to look at a BAS statement or a set of financial accounts. But if I were a dress designer and I could have pictures of my dresses, or I was a cafe where I could have pictures of my meals or something like that, Pinterest is a great tool for getting you known and getting you out there. I find Pinterest useful. I use it to search quotes. So business related or lifestyle related quotes where I may want to put a post on Facebook or something like that. I use Pinterest as a source of inspiration for that. And Google, of course, but it is a way of getting out there. And Pinterest, what happens is that if someone likes something that you've put up there, they will follow you, which means that you can then build a tribe of followers, and then you can advertise on Pinterest as well. So, for instance, Lorna Jane is a massive example of it. They put examples of, or pins of the girls in their activewear and people doing things in their activewear. They've got a massive tribe of followers where not only do Lorna Jane put stuff up, but people wearing Lorna Jane put stuff up, and then they'll put an ad out with a 24-hour sale or a half-day sale or whatever it is, and they've got the followers, so it then drives people back to their stores, whether it be an online store or a bricks and mortar store. So Pinterest is very useful for that. Instagram is very similar to that you can put the pictures up, you can drive your tribe, and then you can contact your tribe and tell them about a sale. Now, I always think of Instagram as something my kids use to talk to each other and take zillions of selfies and whatever else. But as a marketing tool, these kids that are on it and use it a lot follow a lot of people. And then if these people have a sale, the first thing they do is go, "Hey, Mum, there's a sale on Vans shoes. I want to go and get some. Can we go and get them? They're half price." And I go, "Well, where did you hear that from?" And she goes, "Oh, it was on Instagram." I'm like, "Oh, awesome. Okay." So it is a tool there. It, like Pinterest, is very visual, and you need to have something of relevance, obviously, to your target market, but something that is great in a pictorial format. So that's Google+, Pinterest and Instagram in a nutshell. There are a couple of other social media, well, there's probably hundreds and hundreds of social media channels out there. They're the main ones that seem to operate in Australia, and they're really what I know about. I'm not a social media fiend. As I said, Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube are my channels of choice. In the next session, I'm going to talk a little bit about automation of social media and how to work a little bit smarter. So I'll see you on the other side.